President Bola Tinubu lays the 2025 budget before a joint session of the National Assembly. It's a hefty sum of 49.7 trillion naira, more than 15 trillion naira higher than that of 2024, and Nigeria's largest budget ever in naira terms. The president tags it the budget of restoration, securing peace and building prosperity. According to Tinubu, his reforms are, quote, beginning to yield fruits and that there will be no reversals. He says the philosophy behind the 2025 budget is to be bold and ambitious. Tinubu is delighted to inform lawmakers that Nigeria's economy is gradually turning the corners with a growth rate of 3.4%, and even more heartwarming for Tinubu is the country's foreign reserve climbing to $42 billion from the negatives he met.
The road of reform is now clearly upon us. And as the president of this blessed nation, I know this less traveled road has not been easy. That there have been difficulties and sacrifices. They will not be in vain, I assure you.
Tinubu appeals to Nigerians to keep faith with him, stressing that the days of lamentations are over and it's time for citizens to rally around him to rewrite the country's story.
The 2025 budget seeks to restore macroeconomic stability, enhance the business environment, foster inclusive growth, employment, and poverty reduction, promote equitable income distribution, and human capital development.
But to achieve this, Tinubu plans to spend big on defense and security, about 4.9 trillion naira, infrastructure, especially energy, transport, and public works, that takes about 4.06 trillion naira. It's an investment Tinubu hopes will create jobs and lower the inflation figure drastically from 34% to 15%. The other projections include a daily crude oil production of 2.06 million barrels at $75 per barrel and an exchange rate of 1,500 naira to $1 and a growth rate of 4.6%.
The numbers for our 2025 budget proposal tell a bold and exciting story of the direction we are taking to retool and revamp the socio-economic fabric of our society.
But what we can assure Nigerians is that this budget will be realizable, this budget will be implemented. Let me speak, on some of the assumptions. This budget is predicated on an oil production of 2.06 barrels per day. We're already doing close to 2 million barrels, and I can assure you that by the year 2025, we'll surpass what is projected here, inclusive of condensate.
The 2025 budget, however, remains high on a deficit of 13 trillion naira, out of which Nigeria hopes to borrow 9.22 trillion naira to finance the budget. There is also the burden of a debt service of 15.8 trillion as Tinubu looks to generate a whopping 34.8 trillion naira as revenue to fund the budget. Earlier, President of the Senate Godswill Akpabio lauded Tinubu's leadership, especially how he has reduced debt service from 97% to 68%. The Speaker of the House of Representatives on his part says Nigeria's revenue, even by African standard, is still relatively small and that it will require a robust tax reform like the one pending before the National Assembly to increase the tally.
Nigeria tax bill represents a monumental shift in our fiscal landscape. It is disheartening that those who have not yet taken time to understand the initiative, the focus, are the ones shouting the loudest as critics. But we will make sure that we listen to Nigerians and dot the I's and cross the T's to the satisfaction of all Nigerians and for the benefit of this country. We will not kill any reform that you bring forward that will change the future of this country.
Indeed, Nigeria's low tax revenue also remain a major constraint. Our tax to GDP ratio, currently at approximately 10.9% for 2024 is among the lowest in Africa.
The National Assembly later extended the validity of the 2024 budget till June next year to accommodate further spending from the budget. Omo Bazwai, Rise News.